Hey guys, what's going on? Dusty here. Today we did a bike comparison day. Today's the end of the day. The best way for me to do it was honestly just to give you my feedback between the SSR 300 and the YZ250f. Both are 4-strokes, both are motocross bikes. It's actually unbelievable. I have had this bike for a long period of time, and this has always been my favorite bike. But this bike, you know what? It just come up on the market. I wanted to see what it was all about. So I'm going to tell you some of the pros and some of the cons to actually what this bike was. So I'm actually going to have you come on in here, and I'm going to show you a few things that were awesome about the bike. So start off with, I want to show you guys this suspension. You notice the suspension right here? It's actually set up just like a Shoei. What's awesome about this suspension here is that it felt just like the suspension that was on this bike. It was unbelievable how balanced this bike was. I set the sag. As soon as I got this bike, I set the sag. I left the fork height right where it's at. The bars were at the 0 location, so forward and backwards. The suspension was awesome. I was able to hit all the same jumps. I was able to go through the same rhythm sections. Coming into the corner, the bike didn't quite pogo as much as this one did because I feel like this bike's got a little bit more time on it. But the suspension was awesome. The brakes have got the same size rotors. The brakes stopped me on a dime. They were actually phenomenal. For this bike being half the money, so far right off the bat, the two most important things from the suspension to the brakes, phenomenal. Let's talk about comfort. So awesome thing about this is that these bars, compared to the stock bars that come on my Yamaha, this bend felt exactly the same. Same rake, same angle, everything. I got absolutely 0 arm pump with this bike. 0 arm pump. The clutch that's on this bike pulls in just a little bit harder because it's a 300, but I had no problem feathering the clutch around the corners. The bike with electric start was super nice. Every time, if I stalled the bike or instead of kick-starting the bike, I was able just to hit that electric start button. Super awesome. That was super great. So I'm actually going to come on back here. And if you notice here, it's got real nice aggressive foot pegs on it already. It comes with this really nice kickstand. So when I was out in the track, I was able to just lay the bike right on a kickstand instead of trying to find something to put it against. Another cool thing about the bike that I actually enjoyed about is while I was out there riding and come to a stop, I was like, what's that noise? This bike's equipped with a radiator fan. Yamaha doesn't have a radiator fan, which I thought was super cool. This side of the bike, I found this. When you come around this side of the bike, it's actually got a backup Kickstarter. The Kickstarter, if the battery ever goes dead on you when you're at a track or you're out in the woods, depending on how you're going to ride this bike, the Kickstarter being a backup, man, you don't see this very often at all. It does have a key on it. Another thing this bike's got that the Yamaha doesn't is it has an overflow bottle. If you look right in here, you see this clear bottle that's on the back of this radiator, has an overflow bottle. So for those of you who like to go a little bit slower and you're afraid of the bike overheating, this overflow bottle is going to be great for woods riding. It's going to be great for those days that are really, really hot. The exhaust was really, really quiet. I was real happy with the power delivery and how this bike ran. The power delivery on this bike was a little bit more of a mid-torque range compared to the YZ where it was just explosive. Having a carbureted engine, I'm not cutting that out. Having a carburetor that's carbureted versus being fuel injected, it has a little slower response, but the torque of this 300 was, in my opinion, equal power to that. So all of this in a nutshell, in my opinion, this bike for half the money did phenomenal. Hit the same jumps, went just as fast. I was very easily able to set this bike to handle my abilities very quickly. For half the money, I highly recommend it to any of my friends that are just getting into the sport. If you just got a friend that, hey, listen, I want to get a bike of value that's going to be able to do what the experts and AMs are doing, this bike is going to be able to get you there. So just wanted to rip out a quick video at the end of the day to kind of show you it's even dirty as this one. I put as many miles on this bike as I did this one today. So appreciate you guys watching. Look out for more videos like this one. Thanks.